Ultimately, though, that team would lose to the Washington football team on a couple, little bonehead situations that are happening. It's week 2 football. Understandable things are going to happen, but Joe Judge being a special teams coordinator, special teams coach, having his guy jump offside on a game-winning field goal that was inevitably missed by Dustin Hopkins of the Washington football team, getting a mulligan and an extra point basic length. I mean, that is a tough way to go out if you're the New York Giants, but they lost to a team with a quarterback that forgot that he had 2 legs and could run.
Come on.
Taylor Heineke turned into Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, and he was picking apart that Giants defense. I was actually thoroughly impressed with the way that Taylor Heineke handled himself. His confidence, his poise, his throw, everything he was doing seemed to be good, except for the fact he forgot how to run, so he didn't get the over on Heineke.
Come on.
And there was a lot of weapons. Terry McLaurin was making a lot of fucking plays. That guy's a hell of a ball player, okay? I am thoroughly impressed with not just him as a football player, but him as a human. And then there was the Humphreys, or
Adam Humphreys.
Humphreys all of a sudden became this, who the hell is this guy? I know he's getting every single target. Heineke forgot that Logan Thomas was even on their team. Stopped throwing the ball. There was a penalty. Could have got us our yards. Could have hit that. Anyways, we lose our parlay. Washington football team wins last night. It was an exhilarating game. Congrats to Dustin Hopkins taking advantage of a mulligan, getting a win. And also, that entire Washington football team seems to have a lot of resilience. Hey, Heineke stepped in there, and I don't think anybody felt any type of pressure at all. Ron Rivera didn't even move much. Every time they shot it, he looked the same exact way on the sideline. It's almost as if he knew it was going to happen. I wonder about his coaching style now at this particular stage of the game. Jack Del Ria's over there. I completely forgot about that. I enjoyed the game. All hell broke loose. We lost our parlay. FanDuel refunded everybody $10, but we got to get back on the right side of things with that, because when we get a chance to rake cake from FanDuel, we have to do so. I have a massive opportunity that I'm able to say, hey, this is what we want to do. And I have a chance to maybe put on for everybody to make money, which is what I literally love doing. I need to get back on the right side of things, because all FanDuel's doing is laughing in my face right now. All these people around the internet, that's stupid, that's a bad thing. It's like, oh, is that right? Is that right? You knew that Heineke was going to forget how to fucking run? You knew that he was going to become just a pocket passer. This is it. And literally, as soon as he got out of the thing, somehow the turf in Maryland would jump up and actually trip him.
Jeez.
There was another guy that tripped all over himself. I think it was Humphreys' first catch, actually, on the sideline. He tripped all over himself. And I saw Heineke tripping all over himself. What? They got, hey, remember, poop water last time. Hey, I'm not saying anything, Jason, right? Hey, I know you got a lot of other stuff to deal with, but some reason your field is just tripping everybody. Taylor Heineke mostly. Who knew that he was not going to be able to run anywhere and choose not to run anywhere? Who knew that Logan Thomas was going to get thrown around? There was a play they showed in slow motion. Logan Thomas wide open with both hands right at Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke threw it over his head to somebody that was double covered right behind him. What are we doing?
Come on.
What are we doing? So obviously a lot of people dance on my grave even though the money was refunded. I just know we need to take advantage of that. Love that Thursday Night Football was back. And Chase Young is still Chase Young. He was running right next to Saquon Barkley. Okay.
Wild.
Outside defensive end. Going stride for stride with one of the most explosive humans on earth.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we automatically just say that Chase Young's the most explosive human on earth.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Absolutely.
kind of has carry over there. That team, you don't buy into the Washington football team hype, or after you watched last night, you're like, we can't be sure about anything yet.
Yeah, I don't think we can be sure about anything. I mean, if the Washington football team's defense is supposed to be like this good, they shouldn't be giving up 29 points to the Giants, unless the Giants are also good. And we
Hey,
still
Jason
just don't know.
Garrett. Hey, looked like they were taking some shots. It feels like that offense, every time we see it on TV, like kind of stumbles out of the gates. Like in any of those off, you got to get into a rhythm. Everybody talks about we got to get into a rhythm. It's like, okay, that means first down, you have to gain some yards. Second, everything's like on schedule almost. Matriculating down the field or whatever it is, like that's like it looked like they had the offense rhythm going for them. It was almost fun to watch, by the way, because I think it's the first time we've seen, and I might be wrong, I think that's one of the first times, and maybe the Giants fans have seen more, but obviously outside of there, I haven't seen that offense really get into a rhythm much.
Yeah.
And I think Jason Garrett was pumped. It seemed like he was very excited. Daniel Jones obviously was feeling it and playing pretty well, but 29 points, is a lot of points.
A ton. And everyone's talking about the Washington football team being an unbelievable defense, which, I mean, sure, they still can be. It's still very early, but they gave up 470 last week to Herbert and the Chargers. They gave up 350-plus this week to the Giants. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they will figure it out, and it's a secondary problem or something, but I thought they were going to have 5-plus sacks last night on dimes, and the Giants' O-line played pretty well. They lost Ben Gates, which will probably mess them up going forward. Saquon, someone said this yesterday. Saquon usually on that big run he had, the 41-yarder, that's something I feel like in previous times probably scores a touchdown.
Well, he's not all the way back.
Maybe not.
Guy's got a new knee.
And maybe the Giants will never be all the way back because of this. I mean,
were they ever there, though? I don't know.
They won a couple Super Bowls in this decade.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Saquon. I'm sorry.
In the
You're
last
talking about
five.
in the grand scheme.
Last season, let's not forget, they were, a quarter away from being a playoff team, if not for Nate Suckfield coming in for the Eagles.
Yeah, and I think 4-12 got into the playoffs in the NFC.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Was that
no 7-9 football team? but it might as well be 4-12.
Situations are
situational?
Boom.
Yeah, they were very close to being a playoff team.
Yeah,
and I guess that's what the owner would have said to his billionaire. I mean, it's a playoff.
Yeah,
damn near.
You mentioned Jerry. I mean, I think the Cowboys are going to figure it out and they'll win the NFC East, even with all the trouble they got going on right now.
There's a couple teams that are in trouble. How many players since the 5 players the Dallas Cowboys have lost since Thursday night's game started?
4 starters, and a lot of people say 5 because Gallup is technically a starter,
and he had a hell of a debut there for the season.